It took me over 30 years, 3 decades of pain, mistakes, anxiety, addiction, panic, self-doubt, and survival to understand something so simple, so obvious, and so life-changing that I can tell you in the next 10 minutes. And if you really hear it, it might save you 30 years too. Let's start with this. The biggest lie we grow up believing is that we have time. Time to heal. Time to change. Time to fix ourselves. Time to get serious later. But here's the truth no one teaches you. Your life doesn't change with time. Your life changes with decisions. One decision, one moment, one realization. And the realization I'm about to share with you took me most of my life, so listen closely. 1. I spent years trying to fix the wrong problem. For the first 30 years of my life, I thought my problem was my anxiety, my panic, my addiction, my fear, my self-doubt, my past. But none of those were the real problem. The real problem was this. I kept trying to fix symptoms instead of healing the cause. I tried to fight addiction, but never healed the anxiety that caused it. I tried to fight panic, but never repaired the nervous system that triggered it. I tried to change my life, but never changed the beliefs that built it. And here's the part that hurts. You can't out-willpower a wound. You can't out-discipline trauma. You can't outthink a nervous system stuck in survival mode. It took me 30 years to understand that. 2. I wasn't broken. I was unregulated. For decades, I believed something was wrong with me. Why can't I calm down? Why does my mind spiral? Why do I escape through substances? Why can't I just stop? Why do I wake up with fear even when life is good? Then I learned something that changed everything. My nervous system wasn't broken. It was protecting me. Anxiety wasn't an enemy. It was a warning signal. Addiction wasn't weakness. It was self-medication. Panic wasn't madness. It was overload. Numbing wasn't failure. It was survival. The moment I stopped seeing myself as damaged and started seeing myself as dysregulated, my entire life began to shift. 3. Nobody comes to save you. But you aren't meant to do it alone. For years, I waited for the right moment, the right person, the right motivation, the perfect conditions, but nothing changed. Because here is the truth. Your healing is your responsibility, but your suffering is not your fault. And you don't heal by isolating. You heal by connecting. The version of me in my 20s thought healing meant being strong enough to do everything alone. The version of me now knows. Healing means letting yourself be supported, guided, educated, understood, and held. No warrior fights alone. 4. The past doesn't disappear, but its power can. For most of my life, I ran from my childhood anxiety. I ran from my fears. I ran from my mistakes. I ran from my emotions. I ran from myself. And what you run from eventually becomes your prison. It took me 30 years to understand this. Your past doesn't disappear because you bury it. It disappears when you understand it, when you face it, when you give it a voice, when you release it from your body. Your trauma isn't stored in your mind. It's stored in your nervous system. And until you calm that system, the past controls your present. 5. You are one decision away from a completely different life. If I could go back and tell my younger self one thing, it would be this. You're not stuck. You just haven't made the decision yet. Not a perfect decision, not a dramatic decision, just a real decision. To stop numbing and start healing. To stop escaping and start understanding. To stop surviving and start living. To stop running and start rising. Because here's what took me 30 years to learn. Your life changes the moment you decide you're done suffering. Your identity changes the moment you decide you deserve better. Your healing begins the moment you decide you're worth saving. And all of that can happen today, in the next hour, in the next breath. Outro, the warrior message. Everything I just told you took me decades of pain, panic, fear, addiction, relapse, self-hate, confusion, and silence to understand. And now I'm giving it to you in 10 minutes because you didn't go through all that. But you don't have to. You can start where I ended. You can begin with clarity instead of chaos, with understanding instead of shame, with tools instead of fear, with regulation instead of desperation. If you want real transformation, not quick fixes, start with the truth. You are not broken. You are healing. You are not weak. You are fighting battles inside a body that wasn't taught how to feel safe. And if you're ready for the next step, download my free anxiety and addiction recovery workbook at freefromaddiction.net. Subscribe for daily videos that will change your life. Join the warrior community and stop healing alone, because today something changes. Today, you don't wait 30 years. Today, you learn in 10 minutes what took me a lifetime, and that's how your new life begins.